On July 16th of 1931, a wealthy businessman named B. Marby Hart was staying at the Carolina Hotel in Raleigh, North Carolina. He had some sort of get-together in his room involving some young ladies. They left in the early morning hours of the 17th, and evidently Mr. Hart collapsed into his bed with a lit cigarette. When he was awakened by the fire, he was confused in the smoke, and instead of fleeing into the hallway, he accidentally ran into the bathroom, where he fell into the tub, smacked his head. He was found there dead of smoke inhalation after the fire had been extinguished. Now, what does this have to do with our story? It's because of this fire that a young woman named Celia Roberts of Creedmoor, North Carolina, was evacuated from the hotel. Now, what happened to 20-year-old Celia over the next couple of days is kind of fuzzy, because it seems when they had taken her out of the hotel on account of the fire, she was already sick. It seems that she should have been in a Raleigh hospital. But when she died on the 24th, she was actually in Brentwood Hospital in Oxford, North Carolina, close to her home of Creedmoor. And this is a tiny, tiny hospital. It's not like they took her to some specialty hospital to be treated. I know that she wasn't there until around the 23rd, because that's when the doctor who signed her death certificate started treating her. Where was she during the intervening days? Come back next year, maybe I'll know. But it was clear to Dr. Thomas, who was caring for her, that Celia's illness had nothing to do with fire or smoke inhalation. She was dying of septicemia from a botched abortion. She told him that a woman in Raleigh had perpetrated the abortion. Now, what Celia said on her deathbed and the investigation that followed aren't really clearly explained in any of the news coverage. And it seemed like it was a bit of a muddled case, because it took 3 months before the identified abortionist was arrested, Mrs. Sophie E. Layton, a homemaker who lived in Raleigh with her mechanic husband. A justice of the peace named I.E. Harris was arrested for having arranged the abortion. And he did admit that he had arranged it and denied that he was the father of the baby. He said he had just arranged the abortion out of compassion for Celia and her plight as an unwed pregnant woman. And he admitted that he had paid Mrs. Layton $14 for the abortion and had met her on July 11th to make the arrangements. This matched with what Celia said on her deathbed, which was that Harris was not the father of her baby, but that he had arranged the abortion. Evidently, a 21-year-old man named Eugene, also of Granville County, visited Celia at the hotel. He said that Layton was a woman that he saw go into the room, and he evidently knew about the abortion because he testified that Harris told him he'd found a woman in Raleigh to do the work. Now, Layton's defense was that she'd never seen Celia, nor had she ever been at the Carolina Hotel, and she brought forth witnesses who said they were with her both on the day the abortion was originally arranged and the day the abortion actually took place. Nevertheless, they must have had some evidence pointing to her, because she was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The jurors deliberated for about 5 hours before finding her guilty, and they did recommend mercy in sentencing. Layton appealed, but her conviction was upheld, but she didn't stay incarcerated long. She was paroled in December of 1934 after serving roughly 2 years of her sentence. I have no idea what her qualifications were. I haven't found any evidence yet that she was associated with abortion practice in any way. Come back next year, I'll let you know what I know.